As 3I Atlas, the mysterious interstellar visitor, swept dangerously close to the Sun, astronomers held their breath, and what unfolded left many genuinely shaken. Once again, the object behaved in ways no one anticipated. Strange activity flared up, familiar explanations began to wobble, and for the first time, researchers confirmed something extraordinary. 3I Atlas was no longer obeying gravity alone. And that's where the real tension began. One striking set of images came from NASA's Punch satellite network, captured on October 27, 2025, right as the object skimmed past its closest approach to the Sun. Other solar-watching spacecraft, including Stereo and the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, soon added their own observations. As scientists compared notes, a collective sense of disbelief spread. Just before reaching perihelion, 3I Atlas suddenly brightened, and not by a small amount. The increase followed an extreme curve, far steeper than expected. As it drew closer to the Sun, its brightness surged dramatically, outpacing anything astronomers have ever recorded from a comet in our own solar system. The reaction among researchers was immediate. This simply shouldn't happen. Such behavior suggested only two possibilities, neither of them ordinary. Either the object was violently ejecting gas and dust on a massive scale, or its chemistry was unlike anything previously observed, responding to solar heat in an unusually intense way. What made the situation even more unsettling was a sense of déjà vu. Scientists recalled that 3I Atlas had pulled a similar trick earlier, brightening abruptly as it passed near Mars. Now it was repeating the act near the Sun, reinforcing the feeling that this wasn't random behavior, but a pattern. Then came the moment that truly electrified the scientific community. Careful tracking revealed that 3I Atlas wasn't moving exactly as gravity said it should. Something subtle, but measurable, was pushing it. This phenomenon, known as non-gravitational acceleration, instantly drew global attention. Davide Farnocchia of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory explained that the latest data showed the object speeding up ever so slightly during its close solar encounter. The force involved was minuscule, yet significant enough to alter precise orbital calculations. For scientists used to working with extreme precision, this tiny discrepancy spoke volumes. The leading explanation is outgassing. As sunlight heats frozen material inside a comet, vapor escapes, acting like microscopic thrusters that nudge the object forward. It's a familiar process, but nothing about 3I Atlas has felt familiar so far. Researchers are cautious. Until the object emerges from behind the Sun and becomes observable again, the exact strength and direction of this push remain uncertain. If future measurements show the acceleration is stronger than expected, or aimed in an unexpected direction, scientists may be forced to revisit more radical ideas, just as they once did with Oumuamua. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb weighed in, noting that if outgassing really is that powerful, the object must be shedding mass at a rapid pace. Once it moves closer to Earth, astronomers can test whether the observed mass loss aligns with that explanation. If it doesn't, the implications become far more provocative. An alternative mechanism, something unconventional, perhaps even artificial in structure, would need to be considered. Yet another surprise emerged from space-based solar imagers. With 3I Atlas currently hidden in the Sun's glare, scientists relied on coronagraphs, special instruments that block sunlight to reveal nearby objects. When the data was processed through color filters, researchers noticed something deeply unsettling. The object appeared bluer than the Sun itself. This doesn't mean it glows blue to the eye, but rather that its light is richer in blue wavelengths and poorer in red ones compared to sunlight. That alone raised eyebrows. According to conventional physics, dust should redden reflected light, and an object so far from the Sun's surface should appear cooler and redder, not the opposite. The authors of the latest study admitted they still cannot explain why 3I Atlas brightened so violently, far beyond the behavior of known Oort cloud comets under similar conditions. Avi Loeb added that the blue-shifted spectrum only deepens the mystery. Given that the Sun's surface temperature is about 5,800 Kelvin, an object reflecting bluer light challenges everything scientists expect.
That leads to an unsettling question. Could 3I Atlas be powered by a heat source hotter than the Sun?
Loeb has now added this observation to a growing list of anomalies tied to the object. Just yesterday, during its closest solar pass, it absorbed an enormous amount of heat and responded by becoming dramatically brighter than any familiar comet ever has. For astronomers watching from Earth, excitement is mixed with unease. Each new data point brings answers, but also deeper questions. And as 3I/Atlas slips back into view, the universe may soon demand explanations we're not yet ready to give. Before slipping out of view behind the Sun, 3I Atlas was already raising eyebrows and sparking heated conversations among scientists. For much of its passage through the solar system, the object displayed an antitail, a faint dust feature that appeared to point toward the Sun, a counterintuitive behavior that puzzled observers. Then, just before reaching its closest solar approach, that feature abruptly reversed direction, snapping into a conventional tail that streamed away from the Sun like an ordinary comet. The sudden switch felt less like a gradual transition and more like a deliberate flip of a cosmic switch. The surprises didn't stop there. When researchers analyzed how sunlight scattered off the object, they encountered something entirely new. The light showed strong negative polarization, an optical signature never before recorded in any known comet. Even more baffling, the gases surrounding 3I/Atlas appeared layered in a way that suggested a kind of shielding envelope, almost as if the object were wrapped in protective shells. No one had expected to see anything like this. Chemical analysis only deepened the mystery. The region closest to the nucleus seemed dominated by nickel, with barely a trace of iron. Surrounding that was another layer rich in cyanide-related compounds, and beyond it, an outer envelope filled mostly with carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. This sharp chemical separation, with radically different materials arranged by distance from the core, is unlike anything clearly observed before and hints at an origin far removed from familiar solar system environments. The most detailed images ever taken of this visitor came from the HiRISE camera aboard NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. However, those images have not been released, officially attributed to disruptions caused by a government funding shutdown. Still, whispers have spread through the scientific community. Some researchers suspect the delay may not be purely bureaucratic, wondering whether NASA is holding back particularly revealing data. On October 2nd, 3I Atlas passed within about 30 million kilometers of Mars, close enough for HiRISE to capture unprecedented detail. That flyby happened just as the shutdown began, and since then, the highest resolution data has remained unseen. The silence has only fueled speculation. Now, the object is moving on, heading toward Jupiter. Along this leg of its journey, it will approach Earth more closely than ever before, giving astronomers a rare chance to observe it in greater detail. Telescopes around the world are already preparing for what could be the clearest look yet at this interstellar traveler. After its encounter with Jupiter, 3I Atlas will be flung outward, escaping the Sun's grip along a hyperbolic path toward the fringes of the solar system. It first entered from the direction of Sagittarius, an intriguing coincidence, as this same region of the sky was once home to the enigmatic WOW signal. Following its planetary slingshot, it will glide past constellations like Virgo and Leo before fading back into interstellar darkness. That's where we'll leave it for today. One strange visitor, still refusing to give up its secrets. Thanks for watching,